In this lead up to what looks like it could be a war with Iran, I want to suggest that most commentators and many politicians and people who comment on geopolitics on every side of the issue are failing to ask the correct question. And that question is, what is the mind of the Lord Jesus Christ, the mind of Christ, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords? It is Professor Marandi of Iran. He is the one who comes the closest of all commentators, a Muslim, a Mohammedan, as he might have been called in another time, who is actually, out of everyone, broaching that subject. In the past few days, he tends to ask the question, why are the Christian Zionists thinking that Christ would support war? The Prince of Peace, why would he support war? Now, Trump being apparently owned by the enemies of Christ, that is the Zionist Christians and the Zionist Jews. They're not really Christians, by the way, the Christian Zionists, because they have subverted and subjected the commission of the Lord Jesus Christ and made it subject to their eschatological, or should I say scatological, fantasies. It never worked out in the past that any attempt to lay hold of the claim to Zion and the claim to that land outside of the Lord Jesus Christ, every previous attempt under Constantine, under Hadrian before him, and even under the neo-pagan emperor Julian the Apostate, ended in abysmal failure. And how much do you want to bet that the Lord Jesus Christ, who is still King of Kings and Lord of Lords, can even use the Mohammedans, who in some sense are more Christian than the so-called Christian countries, who are so utterly secular that they can't overcome feminism, that they can't even go back to the traditional values of their Victorian forebears, just 3 generations ago. So that the Mohammedans, especially in Iran, with reference to they don't have an abortion genocide, they are defending, along with the courageous Houthis, the Yemenis, Ansar Allah, the rights of the people who are being genocided in Palestine, the Palestinians. So they are demonstrating and showing more regard for the person of Christ and the mind of Christ, these Mohammedans, these Muslims, than the professing Christians are. I dare say they are more Christian. The Ayatollah himself is more Christian than Donald Trump. So heads up, Americans. Heads up, evangelicals. Heads up, Britishers and other Westerners, post-Christian Westerners. You may have gone past the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords and decided that his kingdom and his government is non-existent, non-extant, or irrelevant. But he is real. He is not silent. And he can work through the earth himself. He can work through Persia. He's done it before. He worked through Nebuchadnezzar and the Babylonians, utter pagans. He can definitely work through these Mohammedans. You better watch out. You better start asking the correct question and trying to ascertain through the scriptures the mind of Christ, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, whose government shall have no end. Don't attack Iran. Washington gave chemical weapons to Iraq, which used them against Iran. Professor Marandi was attacked by mustard gas and another chemical weapon during the Iran-Iraq war. We broke the rules. We're the ones who are not following Augustine's and St. Thomas Aquinas' just war theory. And it's the Iranians and the Ayatollah who are actually acting like they care about the Christian just war theory. You want to think that God can't use them to deal us a humiliating blow and put us back in our place? You better believe he can. He did it to the Israelites, to the Jews at the hands of the Romans, and he can do it to us. Those things were done as an ensample. Be wary and be forewarned. Jesus Christ is on his throne.